over a year, I played a terrible game called Army Men, Soldiers of Misfortune. And it was so terrible that I had to go pick up this, Army Men, Sarge's Heroes. But while I was at the store picking this up, I also decided to pick up this, Army Men, Sarge's Wars. Well, it turns out that Sarge's Heroes was so bad that I wasn't too eager to play an Army Men game anytime soon. But when you have a video game show, you gotta play video games. And since I had Army Men, Sarge's War sitting around, I decided to give it a shot. Let's see if it's any better than Army Men, Sarge's Heroes.
Once upon a time in the magical land of Greentown, all hell was breaking loose. Bullets and napalm filled the air as the Tans tried to kill as many Greens as possible. Unfortunately for them, Sergeant Hawk was at Greentown today. So the game is pretty good. You start out feeling super strong with your assault rifle and shoot the mess out of Tans. The lock-on isn't as good as it was in Sarge's War, which I actually like. I need to target my foes and it feels like it takes some skill. On this first level, there is plenty of ammo and health. Oh, and one thing that I needed in Sarge's Heroes that they didn't have: frequent checkpoints. I love it. I could cry tears of joy. The objectives are pretty easy. You'll come to bridges that have spotters. Step on the bridge while the spotter's alive. Boom! So, you kill the spotter, cross the bridge, and then kill some other dudes. It's all good fun. And then you blow up their communication device, and then peace. No, seriously, after the attack on the Greens' hometown, both sides agreed to a peace treaty. Dan goes from attacking the capital to wanting peace, and Green is so good at forgiving they turn the other cheek after having their home attacked to having Grim and Plastro sign a peace treaty. The only thing is that there's a rogue faction of the Tan army that isn't so keen on ending the war, so a recon group was sent to investigate them. But we haven't heard from them in a while, so Colonel Grimm sends Hawk to check on them. But I should be back in time for a dance with Vicky at the peace ceremony. Alright. So I head to the beach level and the recon group is pinned down by artillery fire. All I need to do is blow the spotter's head clean off and the artillery will stop. This level is also fun to just wipe the floor with the foes, and here's one of my favorite parts about this game: the damage. Sarge can have a huge chunk of his side blown off, a huge hole blown through his chest, take an arm off or a piece of the head, and if you're really lucky, the whole head itself. And since we're made of plastic, we can keep on keeping on. Later in the game, there are enemies who have enough health that you can blow their head off and they'll spin around firing their weapon until you kill them. Another cool thing about this game is that it rewards exploration. I got a bazooka on the second level because these boxes looked breakable. But after blowing up all of Lord Malice's ammo trucks, I get a call from the man himself. Guess what, dweeb? The peace ceremony isn't gonna be all that peaceful. See you later, Hawk. So, as promised, we were taken to the Emeritus, or the Articulate... The armament? Hold on, what's that word? I know it has an arm sound. Armadillo? Armchair? Armistice. So yeah, everyone's happy signing the paper, but then there's some TNT in the statue and...
Kaboom!
Sarge goes through and finds all of his army buddies. Holy crap, guys, this is brutal as Cedra.
Sarge?
Vicky, hang on. It's gonna be okay.
Looks like we won't be dancing at the ceremony tonight, huh, Sarge?
Oh, Vicky.
I love you, Sarge.
Come on, Sarge, cut that out. You were going to trash your accuracy rating. Well, after that, Malice's men attack the city, finishing off the survivors. Except Sarge. Well, maybe Sarge. Look, I get it, game. I realize the game just took a really dark turn, but you don't have to make the level so dark that I can't see anything. This is terrible level design. If they had a built-in brightness setting... Hey, look, game. I'm sorry I judged you so quickly. You're not so bad, you know that? Oh, don't worry, Chet. You haven't seen the worst of it. Wait, what? So once I cranked up the brightness, I beat the level, which had a perfect level of challenge. But now that all of his friends are dead, Sarge lives up to the back of the box. Never count out a toy with nothing to lose. Gritty world of toy-on-toy combat. Oh my gosh, you're a kid's toy! Now I go to another beach level, and the first thing I do is blow up Malice's long-range artillery. Oh, he is gonna be so pissed. Also, I got a shotgun, which is fun to use. Another thing is that this level has the perfect amount of ammo. You can use the assault rifle until you run low on that ammo. Then you switch to your shotgun until you run low with that, but by the time that happens, you have enough assault rifle ammo to, well, assault. Next, I enter Malice's secret cave. It's here that he has some plastic, which he is using to make more soldiers. He also has trapdoors to acid.
I'd be mad if that weren't so obviously telegraphed. Oh, and if being melted alive wasn't so cool.
On this level, I blow up his acid vats, get an automatic rifle, which means I won't get any more assault rifle ammo for the rest of the game, and I only have 2 minutes to get to a door, which I can make in less than 20 seconds. On the next level, I attack Colonel Malice's castle, Sand Castle. It's a decent level and you get cool environments to fight in, but they did cut down on the checkpoints though. But I blow up their helicopter and then I blow up their TNT mine, which was pretty cool to escape from. Level 7 was a spike in difficulty. With the addition of high health dudes, bazookas, and flamethrowers, these are the worst guys to fight in the entire game because they have so much health and they can do so much damage. Why not give regular soldiers higher health and make it so that the guys that can instantly cook your turkey go down quicker? Well, aside from how many times I was killed by cheapo deaths, I had saved some green soldiers. So how do I do this? Do I press the X button to tie them? Or maybe I shoot the strip? Oh, I got an idea. I could unload an entire barrel of shotgun shells into the guy. No, that doesn't work either. Oh no, of course. I turn on the laser that bounces off several mirrors to loosen the bands.
Oh, but of course! What was I thinking?
The next level was a tough one though. I had to snipe snipers in these halls, get instantly killed by bazooka men, and then we got the first truly cool level design in the game. My favorite part of Army Men games is that they can take place in the real world, while the Army Men stay miniature. And on this first level, I got to shoot across a counter and blast some men on a table, and then shoot men on the second level of the table. Wait, what? By my account, this table should look something like this. Oh well, no time to overthink it because I got myself a flamethrower.
Burn! Burn them all! Yes! Burn!
But there's no time to enjoy it because as soon as I got it, I need to face against these guys. I hate these guys. They spawn infinitely, they're invisible, they have high health, do big damage, and I didn't find this out until later, but they are only vulnerable to the flamethrower. At first I thought my weapons didn't lock on to them because of the invisibility, but with perseverance, aka running like a sissy coward, I beat that level too. The game is only getting tougher from this point on. The level starts out with a PTSD vision of the time when Sarge was here with his squad, including his good friend Major Gooding, and they all got wiped out. But it's another neat level. I like this level because there are guys on the toaster and guys in the toaster oven, and you can turn them both on to cook the guys alive.
Okay, let's be real here. What kind of a family needs a toaster and a toaster oven?
This level, for the most part, was pretty difficult by adding in more and more enemies, not to mention the run of death. How do I turn off this oven? Hot, too hot! This level was really testing my patience. With the sheer number of tough enemies, especially since these guys are immune to bullets and can stand on the dang stovetop, after several attempts, I finally made it across the stove. And while I was in cover, thinking to myself, okay, how am I gonna beat these guys? I exploded.
Oh. Okay.
Let me be honest, I almost quit right here. But first I checked out the cheat codes, but I couldn't find anything that would help. But I did find this one that replaced all footsteps and bullet holes with this cute doggy face. But after that I set free some green POWs and then went on to the next level. Then it was more of the same. A bunch of platoons that had more enemies than I should be expected to fight in them. So I peek up, duck, move the aim reticle, peek up, duck, adjust the aim reticle a little more, then peek up, pop, and then duck down. Oh, also there were a bunch of tanks. They handed out a bunch of bazooka ammo for it. I even killed the tank that was attached to the train, and then I rode its corpse to the next part of the level. Also, I got a heavy machine gun to make it so I don't get any more shotgun or automatic rifle ammo. But honestly, near the end, there were way too many enemies that they expected me to fight, so I developed a highly skilled maneuver and tactic. I studied Roman tactics, Shaka Zulus, even some stuff from Sun Tzu's Art of War, and with all the knowledge, I employed this technique. I turned my flamethrower on to maximum and ran like a madman to the end of the level.
Works every time, all the time.
But after that, I arrived in the next level, which took me nearly an hour. Basically, they added a bunch of constraints that made the level much harder than it needed to be. First off, they had you fight way more enemies than you can handle with a 2-minute timer before weapons of mass destruction are fired. I don't know where they'd fire them since they already destroyed Greentown, but on top of that, they had to open a blast door that only stayed open for 10 seconds, which cut you off from previous areas. Which actually really sucks for me, because here's one cool thing. If I ran into a problem that was super hard, after I beat that part, I'd go through the door and then come back to the area and get a checkpoint for free. But with the doors closing, I lost my checkpoints, which means I have to go through 1 to 3 super tough parts, and if I die in one of them, I have to do all 3 hard parts over again. Like this super tough room where I killed most of the enemies, then I opened up the blast door, but since I couldn't get to the door within 30 seconds, I got killed in the self-destruct, so I had to do it over again. This time I ran past all of the enemies, taking a bunch of hits and escape. Then I get all the blasting caps, go backwards through the level, and blow up all of Colonel Malice's weapons of mass destruction. Oh, he's gonna be so pissed again. Then I take a gondola to the final fight. It was a tough fight, and he starts out saying, this fight was so stupid hard. It's not the hardest thing I've ever done, nor the longest, but man, I hated it. Malice has so much health. You have no idea if you're doing anything to him. I mean, pumping 100 HMG rounds doesn't seem to even phase him. Not to mention the whole time he's shooting rockets at you that can take away a huge chunk of your health. And if you get too close to him, he cooks your goose. To complicate the whole matter, there's an infinite responding amount of dudes that chase you around and chisel at your health. After dying over and over and over and over, I got a foolproof plan. See, this is the room, and this is Malice. And there's a platform right here, which is represented by a loot crate. Go to lootcrate.com right now and enter code NOT SPONSORED to pay full price on a Loot Crate subscription. So if you run up here, all of the dudes in the room press up against this wall where they can't see you, and their pathfinding is too idiotic to climb up here. So I take a few sniper shots at Malice while doing awesome roll dodges out of the way of his missiles, and after blowing off his arm and a chunk of his head, and 20 more shots, he leaves his platform to shoot missiles at me from this part of the room, and after a few more sniper shots, the final cutscene. I walk over to Malice and remove his mask to show his green face. Turns out it was Major Gooding, and when he got left behind a few years ago, he got mad. Geez, Gooding, it was an honest mistake. It's not like I was acting out of malice. Yep, so after that, he dies, and Sarge goes home, the only survivor of this pointless war.
That wasn't the worst game I've ever played. It was actually pretty good. If I were giving a rating, it'd be a very solid 3 out of 5. You know, if you can find the game for, $5 to $10, I'd say that's a fair price, It's a 7-hour game, and, it's good fun. It's very challenging. It feels rewarding to beat, because it's so challenging. So yes, I endorse this game. It's pretty fun. Now I guess all I gotta do in this video is beg for a creepy Colonel Malice thumbs up. Or thumbs down, depending on how you felt about it. Also, I'd like to beg for a subscribe. If you hit the like button, go ahead and subscribe. You'll get more videos like this one, hopefully better, maybe worse. Oh, also, if you disliked it, go ahead and subscribe. That way you can leave more dislikes in the future. Alright, thanks for watching. That was a perfect throw.